Namaste.
Namaste.
So let's begin. Sit tall and supreme, close the eyes. Bring the attention inward. Nothing to do, nothing to seek. Everything we need is already within. Let's begin with the sacred sound of Om 3 times to bring divine attention to the self. Imagine you are one with all beings. Fix your mind on God alone. Rest your mind in God alone. And in God you will live hereafter. Of this there is no doubt. Let's do the Om Namah Shivaya mantra. It means I bow to the inner light. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Together. Om Namah Shivaya, 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 Om Namah Shivaya. One last time. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. May all beings everywhere be happy and free from suffering. May we acquire a strong desire for liberation from pain and suffering. And may we cherish no ill feelings against each other. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Namaste. Thank you so very much for coming today. So I'd just like to start off with some spiritual discourse. It's the way that I usually like to run these, very similar to how Dharma Mittra runs these, Sri Dharma Mittra. So I like to follow in his model for this. So I usually run this class every year. I've been doing it for about 10 years now. And the reason why I do it on Good Friday, one on Good Friday, is because it brings about all sorts of, when we talk about Good Friday, we talk about many of the same themes that we talk about in yoga: the suffering, the selflessness, the selfless service, and the compassion. And these themes prevail greatly throughout the yoga context as well. So when we think, not mean to go too much into preaching, I don't want this to sound like a sermon by any stretch, but when we think about Good Friday, the story goes that Jesus put himself through a great ordeal in order to help us, find forgiveness and salvation. And he exhibited many of the qualities that we think about when we think about yogis. He was boundlessly compassionate. He had so much love for all beings that he gave up his life. He made the ultimate sacrifice for us. He was very obedient to his father. His father told him that this is what he has to do, and he willingly did this. He was a teacher, but he was also willing to be a servant in many respects. He gave freely of his knowledge, and he gave freely, he served his followers. And in the same way, I think about Sri Dharma Mittra, my teacher, in the same way. He went through a lot of pain and suffering in his own path to become a yogi and to get where he is now. And he gave so much of his knowledge to all of us in order that we can find our way to contentment, to finding the knowledge that we need to remove our own pain and suffering. And so this is why I like to draw parallels between the two. And although we may not necessarily come to the same level as Jesus did, or as some of these great prophets, we may not be a founder of a great religion, or we might not revolutionize history, but there's so many things that we can do in order to improve our own lives and to improve the lives of others. And there's it's just these little actions that we can think about to help ourselves and to help others on their own paths. And so this is where the yoga comes into play. It gives us the knowledge and the tools that we need in order to help us to remove ourselves from suffering. Once we have the knowledge, although it takes practice, although it's a long path, eventually we will find a way to self-realization. And knowledge is one of the greatest assets that we have and that we can use to help others. So knowledge is basically suffering is the root cause of suffering is ignorance. And so if we have the knowledge to remove that ignorance, that's what brings us to the liberation from our pain and suffering. And one rule that we need to remember, first and foremost, that's right at the very foundation of the practice, is to observe the ethical rules. These ethical rules find a way in many religions as well, and many societies. They help to keep the society in order. And so this, the exercising of compassion, if we have that, if we can remember that, this brings us a long way to remove our suffering, because every action has a consequence. And the more favorable actions we do, the more loving actions we do, the more favorable condition is going to come onto our own lives. So, we just have to remember, do good, be good. It's just as simple as that. And when we're ingrained in that idea, when we're established in compassion and love, then this is what's going to help us keep to the path, stay on the righteous path, and to just remember all those virtues that will help us to stay in the same spot where we're not always landing ourselves in a place of trouble and difficulty. It's always sometimes hard to remember. It's sometimes hard to remember that suffering does have an end to it. Sometimes we are suffering all the time. A lot of times it's just because we haven't quite grasped the lesson to learn from what we're passing through. And that comes as a result of maybe just clinging to even like the suffering itself, or the idea. So it sometimes blindsides us. So what we need to do sometimes is to step back and to just accept what's happening, and to remember that everything is happening in a way, in a perfect way, to help us to grow. Everything happens for a reason, and everything rolls out just the way it's meant to. So if we can remember that, and if we can remember that, everything is done as a way of helping us to become more spiritually correct. We all pass through it, everybody, every single being. And so this is how we, this is how we can cope with our own suffering, but also help others as well, and also help to keep us from a place of judgment. When we see others, when we are hurt by others, we have to realize that they're on their own path, and they're just trying, to find their own way as well. So hopefully that will help us to remember that it's not, we try to get away from, avoid the tendency to, let's say, dislike someone or hate somebody. It's more maybe the actions that are causing the problem here. And if we just remember that, we all act according to our own impressions and our own past experiences, and we too pass through these experiences as well. Hopefully that allows us to be a little bit more, come out of that place of judgment. Everyone comes onto the path at a different time. Everybody comes into existence at a different time. So it makes sense that, we're all passing through these things at different times in different places. So they just have to make their way, and what we want to do is just try to help them along the way, and to not think of them in a bad way, because we've been there. So chances are we might not even have been there. So we just try to go along and just try to be as compassionate as possible and put ourselves in their shoes. So all these little things that we can do, to help us, keep us in that place of compassion. Just trying to make the smallest footprint that we can on people's lives, so we're not disruptive. So we are always not taking too much. All these little actions that we do are a way of exercising compassion, like making sure we're not robbing anybody of their time too much, making sure that we're not hoarding. We're not asking too much, demanding too much of our resources around us, our environment, or people, or what have you. Little things like, remembering that every little gesture that we do to acknowledge the existence of somebody, their importance. This is important, you never know how that can affect somebody, if for instance, a homeless person on the street, always, or going around like collecting money from the cars that go by, like he's always hoping that, or she is always hoping that someone will stop and open a window for them. But if everyone does it, even if you want to do it, but it's like, oh, I don't have time, or I don't want to reach into my purse, it's going to take too long, the light's going to turn, and so on and so on and so on. But he's always hoping for that one person to just make that move to help them. And if we keep on letting the other person, assume the other person will do it, what if no one ever does? So, so this is just little things like this. It's remarkable how much we are interconnected with one another. And so if we can remember that we are all one, and if we can remember to put ourselves in their shoes and to just see God in every being, see everybody as a divine manifestation of God, then this will help us a little, perhaps, to really connect with them. This is why we do asana. It helps to augment our compassion. When we're able to tap into their virtues and really sink into their being, then that's where we find the ability to really find quietness and to be one with the form. When we're one with the form, that's when we find quietness in the mind. We find comfort in the body. And that's when we're able to find the ability to meditate. Eventually, every pose becomes a place where we can find stillness and quietness. And we can't do that if we're always struggling, if we're not tapping into their consciousness. So this is what we're trying to do through the asana practice. And so I encourage you to just try to explore that, and it will bring your practice to new level. It's transformative. So I find that that's what helps to transform me. When I start to think less about the benefits that I derive from the practice. Don't worry about those benefits. They're going to come anyways. When you start thinking of just transmitting all that you're feeling, all that you're doing to others through your own selfless actions, then this is when the practice becomes extremely powerful. And that's when you bring yourself to a new level, because you're doing this for somebody else now. And you tend to work harder, you tend to put more of an effort. It's Dharma is always saying it's the effort that counts. It's the effort that's most important. Do this as your divine duty. So when you think of your practice as something that you have to do, as elemental as, caring for your kids or your parents, then this becomes, then it becomes hard to shirk from that duty. And then that's when the practice becomes extremely powerful and meaningful. So I invite you to maybe in this season, in this practice, to just think about that. And every time you step on the mat, think of it as a selfless service. Think about everything you do as a selfless service. It doesn't stop on the mat. Every time you're exercising kindness towards somebody, that's living your yoga. So let's consider that as an idea that we can maybe to carry it into the world and make that our own, our own mission. So if you have any questions, I invite you to maybe put up your hand or whatever, or I'm not even sure how you do it in this Zoom portal, but in any case. So let's just reflect a moment on compassion and how we can make it more of a driving force in our lives. Whether it's through practice or whether through the exercising of just the love that we share with our family and our friends. And just doing little gestures, just, doing it a little bit at a time. Every little bit of effort counts. So whether it's just letting the little creepy crawlies in your house, maybe little bugs or ants, whatever, to, not kill them every time you see one, but just, let them go, let them live. Whether it's, trying to adopt a vegan lifestyle, it might not be too easy to do it all at once, but maybe bit by bit. Even just thinking about what you're consuming. Food is a closest thing that we can think of in terms of, it represents living prana, living life force that we're putting into our bodies. So just think about what you're putting in your body to help fuel it. So that becomes a good engine. Your body is basically a vehicle to carry out your mission. So if you, you want to take care of that vehicle to the best that you can. And of course it goes without saying that you practice with mindfulness. You practice in a way that doesn't harm the body. And this extends to when you're trying to offer it up. If you're putting yourself always in a place of pain, this is what you're transmitting to others. Because if it's an offering, guess what you're offering? So let's just try to come back to a place where we make the experience as beautiful and as powerful and as wonderful as possible for those who are benefiting from it, who are drawing your energy from your own body. So we can think about this as just different ways that we can exercise compassion.
It's Rob here.
To just give people your time and your energy and to share whatever knowledge that you have in order to help them to find their way more easily. So now we're going to do a little bit of pranayama now. And pranayama, you can see it as a gateway between the outward yoga and the inward yoga. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to control the vital force in our bodies. And when we have control of that, we're able to quiet the mind. We allow ourselves to become less distracted by cravings and desires, because these all cause attachments. Attachments causes suffering at some point or other. So what we're trying to do is we're just trying to make the mind into a calm space that will not be disturbed, regardless of what is going on, and we're not affected as much by our senses. So we're going to start first. There's lots of different reasons and that we do pranayama. They all have different effects. Some are to heat up the body, some are to purify the body, some are to help create, augment our creativity in order to be able to manifest many different things. So if you have boundless imagination, this is what we're trying to cultivate. The more imagination you have, the more you can realize, the more amazing things you can realize, and the more you realize, the more you can share with others. So we're just trying to make ourselves as fruitful as possible. So let's start off with some techniques to help purify the body first, and to help oxygenate the lungs, and to aerate the lungs and oxygenate the blood, and to generate heat. So this first one is called Bhastrika breath. So imagine you're panting like a puppy, very, very fast breathing through the nose. So you're really working the diaphragm here, you're generating heat, and you're just also, there's different energy centers all throughout the body. This one simulates the root chakra, which is located at the base of the spine. So what we're trying to do is we're just trying to really shake things up. And so keep your nostrils wide open, and just, if you need to stop, if you get tired, you just slow down as you need to, and then you pick up the speed again. So we'll just do a little bit, just give you a taste of it, right? Maybe do a couple of rounds. So sitting up tall and straight. It's very important for the body to remain straight. So if you have trouble doing this, you can sit against a wall. You can sit in a chair with a straight back. So make yourself as comfortable as possible. So sitting up tall and straight, hands in Yana Mudra. So second finger tips and a thumb tips connected. This represents a super state of consciousness, Turiya. And then the other few fingers are straight. So there's different interpretations for this. It can represent the states of wakefulness, dreaming, and deep sleep. It can represent creator, the three states of God, the three different, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. So generator, preserver, and destroyer. So many different interpretations for those three fingers. So those are just a couple. So sitting up tall and straight now. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, empty the lungs. Inhale part way, and begin. Push all the air out of the lungs. Take a deep breath in. Fill up all the way to the top of the chest. Lift the chest as you do this. Inflate the chest like a big balloon. And then hold the breath. Just keep the chin on the chest. Contract the root muscles. Pull them up towards the navel. Watch the space between the eyebrows to attract all the life force there. Keep holding the breath if you can. Exhale slowly. Try not to allow the breath to explode out of the body. Allow it out in a steady stream. Relax the root area and the throat area. So breathe in from the solar plexus up to the space between the eyebrows. Exhale back down to the solar plexus. This is the source of your power. Inhale again, up to the space between the eyebrows. Exhale back down to the solar plexus. Remain established in your power. And then just breathe normally for a couple of cycles. Be like the witness, just watching the reactions of the body and the mind and the emotions. And let's begin again. Take a deep breath in. Exhale completely. Inhale part way. And begin. You can start slow and pick up speed, or you can go with the speed right from the start that you wish to. Exhale, push all the air out of the lungs. Inhale deeply. Inflate like a balloon, bring the chest up high, then bring the chin on the chest again. Bring the tongue to the roof of the mouth behind the teeth. Watch the space between the eyebrows. Contract the root muscles, pull them up to the navel. Keep holding the breath. Keep the attention to the space between the eyebrows. Concentrate. Exhale slowly. Control the exhale so that is again smooth, not jerky, not like a big explosion. From the solar plexus, inhale up to the space between the eyebrows. Exhale back down to the solar plexus. Again, from the solar plexus to the space between the eyebrows. Breathe in. Exhale, breathe out. Back to the solar plexus. Take a moment to scan the emotional, physical, and mental state. Notice any changes ahead on those states. Now, next we're going to do color breathing. So this is a visualization exercise as much as a breathing, as a pranayama technique, and this is what helps. What this does is it helps to increase our aura. Our aura is our protection against psychic attacks. So it's like negative energy that's directed to us, whether it's unintentional or intentional. So you can imagine a big bubble of all these great colors that surround us, and so we're just trying to increase the force of that bubble so we're protected. So we're going to, this also has the healing effects. So if you direct your attention to a certain area, your attention is like a magnet. So you're drawing all the healing energy there. So think about somebody perhaps who is suffering in that area or has an ailment, or maybe it's your own self. And when you direct your attention there, that's where the energy will go towards healing that ailment. So we're going to concentrate on different areas of the body and produce a sound that we just allow the breath to carry the sound through until we run out of breath. So sitting up tall and straight again. We're bringing our attention to the root area, the sacral area, and the navel. So those 3 chakras located in those areas. Now we're focusing on the color red, and the sound is ah. So take a deep breath in. Bring your attention now to the heart. The color is green. The sound is U, a higher pitch this time. Inhale. Now the attention is at the base of the throat. The color is blue. The sound is so. Inhale. Bring the attention now to the space between the eyebrows and the front of the head. The color is another shade of blue. The sound is E. Inhale. Now, from the center of the forehead, same height, but you just go right to the middle of the head, middle of the head, about the base of the brain. The color is indigo. The sound is sun. Concentrate on the end part of the sound. The vibrations there will dislodge all the impurities, take them out into the bloodstream and out of the body. Inhale. Sun. Now bring the attention to the crown. The color is violet. The sound is sum. Concentrate again on the latter part of the sound. The M sound, the vibrations produced, help to sharpen the mind. Inhale. Sum. Relax the knees if you need to. So now we'll do some alternate nostril breathing. This is the main type of breathing that we do in order to prepare for meditation. It's a very beneficial one. We're going to do this with a breath retention. So through the breath retention, we try to keep the mind calm, even though the body's under tension, maybe feeling a little bit discomfort, but we just try to keep the mind calm regardless. And through the breath retention, we're again applying the locks, so you contract the perineum muscles, pulling up towards the navel, just like we did in the exercise that we did before at the end of Bhastrika breath. Bring the chest up high, bring the chin on the chest. So some people tend to lift the shoulders instead. You lift the chest, chin on the chest, tongue behind the teeth at the upper palate. The attention again is at the space between the eyebrows. Concentrate your mind to be one pointed in its focus. All right, so we're just going to prepare first by just doing some alternating nostril breathing. So just going breathing in and out through one side, breathing in and out through the other side, then switching back and forth just to prepare you, just to get used to the motion. Left hand again in the Yana Mudra on this left knee, the right hand. Second fingers full, third fingers fold down. This is called Vishnu Mudra. You turn the palm towards you. This is what we use for pranayama, the alternate nostril breathing. The thumb blocks off the right nostril, controls the passage through the right nostril, and the right ring finger for the left nostril. Always use your right hand. Okay, so let's begin by breathing out completely, emptying the lungs. Close off the right side with the right thumb. Inhale through the left. Exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale left. Now close the left side with the right ring finger. Open up the right side. Inhale right. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale right. Now we're going to go from left to right now. So close the right side, inhale left. Close the left, exhale right. Close the right side, inhale left again. Close the left side, exhale right. Close the right, inhale left. Close the left, exhale right. Immediately now, inhale right up through the right side. Close the right side, exhale left. And again, close the left, inhale right. Close the right, exhale left. Close left, inhale right. Close right, exhale left. And release. So for the alternate nostril breathing, we're going to breathe in through the left side, hold the breath, close both sides of the nose, exhale through the right side, then back up through the right side, close both sides of the nose, breath retention, apply the locks, third eye focus, exhale through the left side. So we're going to start off by just, let's say, a rhythm of four, we'll just start together. We'll hold the breath for a bit, then I'll cue you through this, and then I'll let you go on your own, and then you can hold your breath as long as you want, comfortably. The important thing to remember is when you exhale, you don't make it so it's a big explosion in your body. So don't hold the breath until you have to do that. You hold until you can let the breath out at a comfortable, steady stream. Okay, so we'll start together here. We'll do a few rounds together, and then I'll let you go on your own for a few. So when you're doing this on your own, try for 12 cycles, and then you can build after that. Right, so let's begin. Sitting up tall and straight. Inhale, first through both sides. Exhale, empty the lungs. Close off the right side, inhale left. Close both sides of the nose, hold the breath. Attention at the third eye, throat and root lock. Exhale through the right, release the locks, release the throat and relax the throat and root area. And then inhale through the right side. Close both sides of the nose, hold the breath. Chin against the chest. Contract the root muscles. Exhale through the left side, steady stream. Inhale through the left side. Hold the breath, plug both sides of the nose. And then exhale through the right. Release the locks in the throat and the root area. Inhale through the right. Hold the breath. It's called Shivananda style, alternate nostril breathing. The rhythm, nice and easy, no set rhythm, no set length for the hold. Exhale through the left. One more round together. Inhale. Hold the breath, both sides of the nose closed. Try to keep the back straight even when you're tipping your head down to bring your chin on the chest. Holding a bit longer this time. Exhale through the right side, release the locks. Inhale through the right side, roughly about the same duration as the inhale. Hold the breath. Keep the mind calm. Attention at the third eye. Exhale through the left side. Now go on your own. Don't worry too much about the count. Try to have the inhale roughly match the exhale duration, and again the breath retention as long as you can comfortably. Conclude next time you breathe out of your left side. Relax the knees for a moment if you need to. Sit up tall again. And just, we'll do a few moments of just reflection, meditation. In the spiritual heart, located at the right side of the physical heart, resides that divine essence that we call God. That divine essence, that divine spark has no shape or form. So who's to say how big it is, or whether it's a tiny little spark, whether it's all consuming the whole body. It has no boundaries, it's not affected by the container in which it resides. So it is everywhere. So imagine, therefore, that you are everywhere. Imagine becoming one with all beings everywhere, all melting together. Whose divine nature is love, goodness, wisdom, courage, pure potential. And see these qualities, therefore, in all beings. All manifested in their own amazing, wonderful, beautiful ways. And we celebrate them all, therefore, by representing them in our own way, with our own efforts, to the best of our ability, through the practice of asana now. So let's celebrate all forms, love all beings. Let's come to standing. We'll prepare now for the asana practice. So let's come to standing. Okay. So we're going to start off first. Bring the hands to the heart again. We'll open this practice with the sound of Om. Inhale. Om. beings everywhere, enjoy this practice through our senses and be nourished through our bodies. Release the arms, stand with your feet about 10 inches apart. Bring the arms up, the palms slightly facing up. Do spiritual breathing to establish a deeper connection with the divine within. Inhale from the fingertips down through the arms into the heart. Holding all the love of the universe in the heart. Hold the breath. 4, 5, 6. Exhale out to the fingertips, just the breath. Leave the love in the heart. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale, pull in the love and everything you need, the best universe, down to the heart. Holding it all in the heart. Suspend the breath. Exhale out through the fingertips, breathe out through the arms. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale. Feel as though you're magnets, attracting everything that you need from the universe. Pull it all into the heart. Now holding it in the heart, hold the breath. Exhale, just the breath out, leave everything that you pulled in the heart. Bring the arms down now, and we'll do some exercises to prepare the body for the practice. Watch the body moving by itself. Roll the head in circles. Try to keep the neck long by depressing the shoulders. And then switch the direction of rotation. Good. And now circle the right arm forward, loosen up the shoulder joint. And then circle the other direction backwards. And now the other arm, left arm, circle it forward. Feel as though you're winding up your machine, your engine, and then backwards. All right. Toes beyond the edges of the mat, left the right arm up, inhale, reach up, exhale, bend to the left. Coming back up, try to keep the underside of the body free of wrinkles as you bend. And come up again, go down, feel as though there are weights attached to your fingers, pulling you down deeper. Inhale, exhale, and last time, inhale, come up, exhale, just slide down to the left. And then come back up, left arm up, inhale, reach up, exhale, bend to the right. And then come up again, and then lean, get long through the left side. Inhale, come up, move with mindfulness and with gracefulness. And come up again, and bend. Lose yourself in the sensations one last time. Inhale, come up, exhale, bend. And then coming back up. Next one is called Breath of Joy. So it has to be done with enthusiasm to make it live up to the name. First 3 movements on an inhale, last one on an exhale through the mouth. It looks like this. Join me. Two more. Last time. Just stay down, hanging down with your head low, allow your body to stop shaking and bouncing. And then start to roll your way up, leading with the upper back, the head stays heavy. And when the shoulders roll back, the head comes up. Good, now we're just going to allow the shoulders to move the body from side to side. Arms just hitting the body in which way. And then move faster, allow the head to fly, in all directions. And then start to slow it down. The arms once more feeling heavy. Eventually come back to stillness. Next one is called lion's breath. So we're going to come into a squat. You just go down to this extent that you can, and then you make a fierce lion face. The eyes go big and they cross and the tongue hangs out. So it's a good way to release some tension. Let's go 8 times. And back up. Good. And shake out the wrists as fast as you can with the fingers very, very rapidly, like you have no control over the hands. And up and down, flap them so fast you can't even see them moving. They're like a blur. Good, and release. Now bring your arms up over the head, turn the palms up towards the sky. Inhale, lift up off the heels. Exhale, come back down. Inhale, pull up, push into the roots of your toes. Exhale, come down. Inhale, come up even higher. Imagine trying to push the ceiling right off the walls and come down. Inhale, press up and down. Last time. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, down and release the arms. Now we're ready for our asana practice. Remember to practice, please, according to your condition. There's going to be some variations for those who are more advanced and modification for those who have some conditions or whatever. So practice according to your ability and your comfort level. Let's come to the top of the mat. Bring the hands together at the heart center. Take a moment, close the eyes. Remember to make this practice an offering. Imagine practicing with yogis everywhere beyond this space to deliver benefits to all beings everywhere. It's trying to imagine you moving together like a school of fish. Surya Namaskara, sun salutation. Reach the arms up over the head. Come forward, bring your hands down to the ground, chest on your thighs. Bring the right foot back, lower the knee down, sink down to the seat. Lift the chest and the head. Come into high plank. Lower down the knees, chest, forehead to the ground. Now push with your hands, glide between your arms, bring your chest forward and your head back. Cobra. Back into downward facing dog. Lift the seat up and back, melt the heart. Bring the right foot forward. If that's difficult, bring the back knee down. The foot doesn't make it all the way. Move it forward with the right hand. Then the feet come together, chest on your thighs. Bring the head down towards the feet. Come all the way up to standing. Arms over the head. And then return the hands to the heart. Pranayama. Inhale, reach the arms up again. Stretch the front of the body. Fold down over the legs. Bend your knees if you need to. Bring your hands flat. Left foot back. Lower the knee. And again, shoulders back, the head high. Come into high plank. Knees, chest, forehead down. Glide between the arms, coming up into your cobra. Arch the back. Back into downward facing dog. Lift the seat up and back. Left foot steps forward. Modify again as you need to. Bring the feet together, chest on your thighs, head down. Come all the way up to standing. Return home, hands to the heart. Reach up again. Stretch. Come down, fold the body in half. Right foot back into a lunge. Into the plank. Lose yourself in the sensations. Lower the knees. Bring the seat all the way back, this time behind the heels. Now as you come forward, brush your nose to the ground and lift the chest up. Bring head back. All the way back into child's pose. Bring the seats back. 2 more times. Glide between your arms. Move smoothly. Fluidly. All the way back again. 3rd time. Come forward into your cobra. Bend the toes under. Make your way back into downward facing dog. Soften the line in the back. Right foot steps forward to the hands, quietly. Feet together. Chest to the thighs, head down. Come right up to standing, reach up and back. Hands back to the heart. Don't worry about the breath. Just move the body in a way that feels intuitive, that allows the breath to remain steady and even. And the body will move fluidly. Left foot back into your lunge, into the plank, knees down, bring the seat all the way back behind the heels, and glide forward into your cobra. Shoulders back, chest wide. All the way back, 2 more times, just like this. Come forward. Slide right up and all the way back. Last time. Smoothly glide yourself forward into your cobra. Back into Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Left foot steps forward to the hands. Drop the seat right close to the front heel. Feet together. Uttanasana, head down. Come right up to standing. Hands back to the heart. Good. Reach the arms up over the head. Bring the hands down. Different variation this time. Come forward. Lift the heels a little bit. Bring your weight into the toes and your hands. Shoulders over the fingertips. Now from here, push firmly into the ground. Lift up a little bit and just allow your toes to glide back. If you feel more comfortable, walk back. Hover just above the ground, chaturanga. Now, so you can pull through into upward facing dog. Lift your hips and knees away from the ground. Pull the shoulders back, bring the chest forward and up. Feel as though you're howling at the moon, upward facing dog. Try to find the form that you see in your imagination with your own body. Back into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Now from here, just bounce to the chest a little bit. Try to get your chest closer to the ground. Flatten out the arms. Belly towards the thighs. Bring the head down below the arms. If you can, touch the head to the ground. Allow it to rest there, if you can. Now from here, lift the heels, bend the knees, look between your hands. And then jump your feet forward. If you want to get fancy, you can do a handstand first and come forward into your forward fold. Come all the way up to standing. Reach up and back. Hands back to the heart. And again, reach up over the head. Come forward and down. Uttanasana. Inhale, come up halfway. And from here, push into your hands. Again, glide back or walk back into chaturanga. Beautiful. Into upward facing dog. Stretch the whole front of the body. Push into the toes, the hands. And bring the head all the way back towards the seat. Good. Back into downward facing dog now. Breathe in. Breathe out, soften through the heart, allow it to fall between your shoulder blades. Now from here, lift up the heels, bend the knees, look between your hands. Float forward or walk forward to your hands. Pull the body in towards the legs. Come all the way up to standing, reach up and back. Hands back to the heart. 2 more like this. Reach the arms up and back. Fold down over the legs. Plant your hands down. So this is an option here. You can either just lift the heels and then come back down. So just practice shifting your weight forward, back and forth into your hands and your base your toes if you want. You can push into your hands, lift up into a tuck. Bring your seat up over the wrists. And again, and last time, you can come into chaturanga. Extend your legs, back into chaturanga. Through into upward facing dog. And right back into downward facing dog. Move smoothly. Watch your body moving by itself. Now from here, lift the heels, bend the knees. Come in, bring your chest on your thighs. Again, you can just come forward, shoulders over the fingertips. Like so. Or if you want, you can lift up. Try to get your seat over your wrists. fourth time, land your feet gracefully and quietly at your hands. Good. Pull the body down onto your legs. Come all the way up to standing. Reach up and back. Hands back to the heart. One more time. These are all warm-ups to generate heat. Pull the body down onto your legs. Now push firmly into the ground like you're pushing into the hands of Mother Earth. Gaze right into the core of the earth. Come up. Either come up or just lift up off your heels. 3 times. The 4th time, extend your legs. Back into chaturanga. Try to land softly into upward facing dog. Back into downward facing dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. Remove all struggles from the, whether it be in a mental, physical, or mental state, plane. And again, lift the heels, bend your knees. Again, do those exercises, moving back and forth, shifting weight into your hands, or come up. Try to hover over your wrists. And then land your feet softly at the hands a 4th time. Good. Hopping or walking again. Fold the body down onto your legs. Come all the way up to standing. Reach up and back. Bring the hands back to the heart center. From the heart, breathe up to the space between the eyebrows. Breathe back down to the heart. Remain established in your divinity, in divine love. Now release. Now we're going to do some balance poses. So throughout now, we're going to spend a little bit more time in the poses, just trying to find the quietness, tap into the consciousness of the pose. Standing on your left foot first, bring the right knee up. You can either come into tree pose with your foot pressed against the inseam of the leg. If you have a lotus, you can bring your knee up to your shoulder, place a foot in the hip crease, hold on to the foot if you need to, or press the foot into the hip crease and it might stay. You bring your hands to the heart, find steadiness, and then root down through the edges of the feet, bring your arms up over the head. Grow tall, grow towards the sun, be stately and still. You can take your gaze up if you like, to make it look more like an offering. Set your sights high in every sense of the word. Return, release. Try it on the other foot now. So spread the toes a little bit. They're like the roots of the tree. Spread it in all directions to help you keep the balance. The right is your standing foot and your left foot in place in whatever position you like. Take the variation that suits you. Hands to the heart. And when you're ready, grow tall. Reach up. Imagine you're the tree of life, bountiful in the shade and the fruits it offers and all the oxygen that it provides us. Beautiful. Bring it back down. And release. Whatever happens, remain unconcerned. Just do your best. Next pose is dancer. So we'll start off the basic version, and you can go into variations if you like. Standing on your left foot first. Bring the right knee up. Take hold of the ankle. And then pull the foot up and behind. So the thighs parallel to the ground. The left arm is out straight in front. Now imagine you're the star performer in a ballet. You can stay here, or you can go into other variations. So if you want, you can lean forward a little bit, try to get the foot higher. Or if you know other variations, advanced practitioners, go ahead. You take your elbow up, take the foot from above, take maybe even both feet, both hands to the foot, I should say. So whatever expression you have, just make it an offering again. Om. Release. Imagine yourself in a pose, graceful and standing with ease. Other foot, raise the left foot up, left knee up, take hold of the ankle and then pull it behind. And feel free to stay here. If you need to modify, you can just hold it like this. You can even stand with your side against a wall if you like. And then go into your different variations. You can tilt forward a little bit if you like. Whatever expression you know, go ahead. Imagine it in your mind. Cultivate your imagination to find beautiful forms. And release. Good. We're going to come to the back end of the mat now. Warrior 3. Bring your arms up over the head like you're brandishing a sword, the warrior's weapon. Step the left foot forward, hinge forward. Make the body level with the ground. Raise the right leg up. So stretch. Be straight as an arrow. Take your arms up to the side if you need to. Modify as according to your condition. If you want to go further, toppling tree. Join hands behind the back, open up the palms, tilt the body down a little bit so your belly comes onto your thigh, and then lift the chest a little bit, curve the body. Try to get your right foot up higher. Stay in the pose. Good. Beautiful, everybody. Nice. Om. Come back. Exit gracefully. Watch the body moving. Try it on the other side. Arms up over the head. Step the right foot forward and glide into the pose. Make the body level with the ground. Imagine you're lying on a table. Those you want to go further, toppling tree. Interlace the fingers behind the back. And then arch the back a little bit. Bring your hands further over your head. Lift the left leg up higher. Bring your hands to the ground if you need to. Make the pose accessible. Step back down gracefully. Good. Now, copy asana. Left foot steps forward, lower down onto the knee. And drop your seat all the way forward. So if you need to, you just roll over the edge of the mat, long edge of the mat. And just try to bring your weight forward so the pressure's not on the knee. Just take your hands to the seat for the time being, pull the seat down and push the rib basket up. Take all the wrinkles out of the skin underneath your hands. Bring the head all the way back. Feel as though you're folding your back in half at the spine. And then, if you can, reach your arms up over the head. Join your hands together, Kali Mudra, index fingers in the same line as the arms. Wiggle the shoulders back and forth. Try to get the arms beside or behind the ears. Arch back as you can, according to your condition. If you're more flexible, go all the way back. So you can get your back to look like you're lying on your back. Index fingers over the back toe. Now stay here or move into the swan. You bring your body back upright, move the right foot up, and see if you take it into the crook of the arm. Bring the fingers close to the ear, left arm comes up high. If you can, bend the elbow and join your hands together. Lock the fingers together. And push the foot into the arm to try to lengthen the arms. Turn your chest forward. Now think of a swan's neck. Try to make your arms look as smooth as a swan's neck. No sharp angles in the arms and the elbows, elbow joints. Break the pose. And these are all options, so just go to where is appropriate for you. Change sides. Right foot forward. Sink down to the seat. And then again, shape your lower body, pull the tail down, and lift the chest up. You can stay here the whole time if this is where you're at. If this is where you find your comfortable edge, bring the head back. Make it an expression of abject surrender. And then bring your arms up for asana if you like. So the Dharma wiggle, you rock the shoulders back and forth, try to get the arms behind the ears. That's it. Good. Make like a crescent moon shape with your body. Feel free to stay there now. Hold the pose or swan if you know that variation. Lift the back foot up. Hold in the crook of the arm, fingers close to the ear so that your other hand finds the fingers more easily. The higher the fingers are, the easier it is to take the bind. And then stretch out the arms. Turn your chest forward. Break the pose. Pull the foot towards the shoulder, release. Now, change sides again. Left foot forward, bend the toes under on the back foot. The legs should look like a box. Right angles. The right arm up. And then dive down with the elbow to the outside of the knee. You can bring your left hand into fist, push into right hand, or hands in Anjali Mudra. Inhale. Pull the body up a little bit higher by pushing left hand in the right. Bring the center of the chest towards the thumbs and roll the left shoulder back. If you need to modify, you stay upright. You just stay with your back, shoulders over the hips, and you stay up. If you want to go deeper, if you know the bind, left arm comes all the way around the body, behind the back. Join your hands underneath the belly. Those you can lift your back knee up off the ground. Go ahead. Now, pull the left hip back, extend through the top head, extend through the back heel as well. Your knees up off the ground. That's it, just keep trying your best. Push your chest towards the thumbs. Good. Beautiful. Return, change legs. So no big fuss when you change. Make it as efficient as possible so you can stay longer in the pose. That's where the important part of this is. Left arm up, ankle and toe and knee towards the right sometimes helps. So you can pull the arm down. The armpit is right against the thigh. Join hands together, inhale, push the center of the chest towards the thumbs and roll the right shoulder back. So move the cobra consciousness. Try to get the right shoulder all the way back at the same height as the other one eventually. And take your variations as you see fit or your modifications. Stay up higher. Upright and then turn. If you want to take a bind, go ahead. Lift the back knee up off the ground on the left leg. tug on the right wrist a little bit more to get you deeper into the twist. Om. Return. Now bring your hands down on the ground, switch legs, left foot in front, right foot back, lizard. Move the left foot out a little bit further towards the edge of the mat. And then just start to rock back and forth, pushing back and forth off the roots of your toes. Trying to get your hips to sink. And then push the right heel all the way back, lower the knee, relax the toes. If your shoulder is at the same height as the knee or lower, you might be able to just shift to the right a little, bring the right forearm down, shift back to the left forearm might come down. Otherwise, you stay on your hands. Keep extending your chest forward. Imagine there's a big weight resting right on top of your seat to flatten out the body. You're very flexible. Bring your chest right down on the ground. Advanced practitioners, go ahead. Take a bind or do other variations as you know them. Good. That's it. Drop the seat. And come back out. Switch sides. Right foot in front. Now creep back and forth. Try to get your hips to sink with each pass. And push back through the left heel. Lower the knee down, relax the toes. And if you can, if it's accessible, come down onto your left forearm and perhaps the right as well. If you're more flexible, try to get your chest on the ground. Your chest is on the ground. You can take your arms out to the side or you can bind. Right arm comes to the outside, snakes underneath the knee, over the back. And then you hold the left wrist with your right hand. Regardless of where you're at, fix the gaze like a lizard that doesn't blink. Try to imitate the form to the fullest extent. Be one with the form. Good. And come back up onto your hands. Step back into plank position. All right, Vasisthasana. I like to move into downward facing dog first. This gets the hips up high and makes you more stable in the pose. Walk the left hand more to the middle of the mat. Spin on your feet towards the right. Side plank. Make sure you don't drop into your shoulder. Keep the arm fully extended. Hips forward. You can stay here if you like. Other variations if you like. Bring the right knee up onto your right foot up onto your left thigh. Or just slide your left toes back in line with the left knee and see if you can take the right knee up, maybe even the foot. Keep your left foot flat on the ground and your hips high. Back into plank. Over to the other side now. Right hand steps more in front of the nose. Come into your side plank. If you have trouble with this pose, you can lower down on the right knee. Keep your hips forward, or you come even onto your forearm if it's your wrist. Move according to your condition. Remember, don't go to the place of pain. Lift your hips right up. Like you're doing an Urdhva Dhanurasana. That's it. Beautiful, Pedro. Nice, Brody. Awesome. Back down into downward facing dog. Stay strong through the supporting hand. One more round. On your left hand and left foot again. Move your left hand more towards the middle of the mat. Come into side plank. You can do the same variation. You can try other ones. If you know how to get into Urdhva Dhanurasana, go ahead. So you would start as though you're doing a wild thing. You slide your right toes back. You spin on your hand. Spin on heel of the palm. Fingers facing the middle of the mat. And then your hands and your feet land beside the other one. Come into the upward facing bow. And then back, keep strong through that left arm, keep your hip up, downward facing dog, like you're moving in through a dance. Go to the other side. Just picture yourself moving like you move in your dreams, with fluidity, with softness, with grace. Good. And back. Press into your right hand, spin on your hand, keep your hips high. Return to downward facing dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. All struggles. Left foot steps between the hands. Virabhadrasana 2. Turn to face the long edge of the mat. Sink down to the seat. Stay strong, get long. Take on the consciousness of the mighty warrior. Now press into the front foot to straighten, turn to long edge of the mat, feet, toes facing the long edge of the mat. Bring your hands to the heart center. From the solar plexus, breathe out to the space between the eyebrows. Again, infuse yourself with your power that comes from that source. Exhale back down to the solar plexus. Hero sequence. Walk your feet a little bit closer. Your toes are still wide. Your heels a little bit closer than closer together. Hands on the seat. Now bend your knees if you need to, like you're sitting on a horse. And then push into the hips. Pull down at the same time and lift the chest. And slowly allow your head to go back. Make sure you don't pinch your neck. If you want, you can walk your hand one at a time down the legs, grip just below the knees, roll the thighs outwards, roll the shins inwards. Keep your legs strong and engaged. If you feel more comfortable, you're more flexible, you can keep walking down your legs with your hands. Maybe they come right down to the heels. Press your hips forward. Try to straighten your legs a little bit more. Walk your way back up, one hand at a time, walking back up your legs to your seat. Now from here, take your arms out to the side, Prasalita Padottanasana, hinge at the hips. Come forward, you can take hold of your outer legs on your shins, or maybe step on your fingers with the edges of the feet, outer edges. Inhale, extend to the crown, exhale, pull the body right in towards the legs. You might be able to get your head right between your feet. If you're more flexible and your head can already touch the ground, walk your feet in a little bit more. Good. Lift the shoulders, extend the spine. That's the idea. Now see if you can bring your hands between your legs, walk your hands back. So you might be able to even get on the back of the head. Bring your body right through. Lift your seat up a little bit higher. And then start to slide your hands back out. Take your arms out to the side. Inhale, come back up. Again into your back bend. Easy chakrasana. Hands on the seat. Heels a little bit closer than the toes. And again, push your hips forward. And then, if you feel comfortable, bring your head back. Slide your hands down one at a time, just below the knees or lower. You can always keep your hands on the seat. Om. Lift back up. Mindfully lead with the heart. Bring your hands back to the heart center. From the solar plexus, breathe up to the space between the eyebrows. Exhale back down to the solar plexus. Remain established in your power. Turn to the right. Right toes turn forward. Virabhadrasana 2. Sink low. Reflect stamina, determination, power. Beautiful. And now, turn toward the side of the mat again, alongside, and step your right foot back in to meet the left. Standing in pranayama here. Good. And release. Come down on your knees. Inversions, headstand, shilshasana. There's options, of course. So if you're not comfortable doing your headstand, you can stay in hare pose. You can bring your hands just beside your feet, forehead on the ground, and just lift your seat up. Try to get your seat over the knees and come onto the top of the head. And if you feel comfortable, if it's not too hard on the neck, you can go further so you're on more the back of the head. Otherwise, you can do teddy bear, or if you know how to get into your headstand, please go ahead. No need to waste your time. Right. You want to try teddy bear, you lift your seat, your hands are in tripod in front of your head, not beside. Walk your feet towards your hands and just rest just underneath the knees against your elbows. You can see if you can pull your toes up off the ground one at a time, maybe both. And as you get comfortable, you can bring your knees onto your upper arms and bring your feet up towards your seat. Now, if you feel comfortable, you can close your eyes, settle your mind on the space between the eyebrows. Think so hum. I am you, you are me. I am that I am. You find stillness in whatever form you're in. Eventually, all forms feel the same. That's it, Bob. Good. If you can get into a lotus, you may go into a lotus. Beautiful lines, everybody. Stay steady. Good. Now, slowly with control, come back down. Rest in child's pose. Inhale. Exhale, remove all fatigue. Now roll your way up, find your way onto your back. Shavangasana is next. Some people among you might be able to go into Shavangasana from your downward facing dog. Come into downward facing dog, bring the back of the head on the mat and roll right into it. Only if you know how to do it. Otherwise, you come up from the ground on your back. Okay. Good. Yes, bring your head right in, tuck your chin in, arms behind, and then hands prepared to catch the back as you come up. Beautiful, Miro and Pedro. Nice. Good. Now, once you're up, you may take your lotus position if you like. If you're having trouble getting to your shoulder stands, try to bring your feet over your head first and bring your hands to the back and lift one or both legs at a time. Modify by bringing your knees to the forehead or just sitting on your hands with your legs straight up towards the sky. Once you're in a pose, settle into quietness. Leave the body by itself. And So good, Bob. If you can bring your hands to your thighs, you may do so. Excellent. Now, if you have your lotus, you go into Pindasana. You can wrap your arms around your legs and join your hands underneath the seat if you're in this position. Otherwise, legs straight, plow pose, with the option to bring your thighs against your body and the knees on either side of the head. Karna Pindasana. Nowhere to go but further within, beyond the body, mind, and the emotions. Beautiful, everybody. Nice, Terry. Beautiful, Violetta. Prepare to come back out. If you have a lotus, keep your lotus. So roll down slowly. Keep your legs close to the body. Just allow your back to roll back onto the ground. Next pose is fish. Go from here. If you have a lotus, you keep your lotus and you hold your feet once your head's on the ground and just try to pull your knees and your elbows down onto the ground. Otherwise, if your legs are straight, hands underneath the seat, push the chest up as high as you can and bring the top of the head to the ground. Imagine you're beaming love out of your heart, so you try to get your heart as high as possible. If you have a lotus now, release your lotus, flying fish. If you can, you raise your legs 45 degrees. You can hold your legs with your hands if you need to. If you're more advanced, you can bring your hands together in front of your legs at the same angle as the legs. Push your chest up again and Bhastrika breath. Breathe very fast in the nose like a sniffing dog. If it's too much, you just keep breathing normally. Lower the legs down and relax. Breathe in. Breathe out all fatigue. Good. Now from here, again, swing your legs over your head and plow, and then you're going to come up to standing. So bend your knees, plant your feet, and try to come right up to standing, or just come up the normal way. Now we're going to come back to the hero sequence, revisit that. Hands to the heart, step out with the right foot again with your hands at the heart center. From the heart, breathe up to the space in the eyebrows. Exhale back down to the heart. Establish yourself in love. A hero acts out of love. Easy chakrasana again. Hands to the seat. Pull down on the seat and push your hips forward. Go back. Walk your hands down the backs of your legs if you like. Some of you more advanced and flexi practitioners might be able to go to Urdhva Dhanurasana. If your head's close to the ground, you can see the ground clearly. You can release one hand to the ground and then the other hand coming into upward facing bow. Always options. Keep it simpler if you need to. Come back up. Extend the arms out to the side. Prasarita Padottanasana again. Hinge forward. Take hold of the edges of the feet, pull the body down between the legs, the head down between the feet. Lift the shoulders, push the chest forward. Imagine trying to get your chest behind your legs. Okay, so you're just trying to bring your body in as far between your legs as possible. Those of you who want, option, advanced practitioners, go into a tripod headstand. Place your hands on the ground, place your head down and circle your legs up. Otherwise, stay in this position. That's it. Legs straight. Good. That's it. Violetta, you're getting it. Lift your heels. Yeah. Okay, if you're in headstand, come back down gracefully. Land your feet exactly in the same place as they started. And make your way back up. Once again, easy chakrasana. Hands on the seat and push your hips forward. Lift your hips so let your legs straighten a little bit more. Bring the head back. Keep on breathing. Do not hold the breath. So you don't want to get lightheaded in this. That's it. Good. Come back. Bring your hands back to the heart center. Again, remain established in divine love. Step your feet back together, facing forward, and then bring your arms by the sides, mountain pose. From the base of the spine, breathe up to the space between the eyebrows. Exhale back down. Be formidable, unshakable like a mountain. Good, now we're going to hinge forward, Uttanasana. So if you need to bend your knees, you can bring your chest on your thighs. Take hold of the opposite elbows behind the knees and push the body into your legs. Perhaps the seat will come up higher, your legs will straighten a little bit more. And see if you can bring your body down against the legs, your forehead. If your legs are straight, press them against the shins. Imagine the top of the head resting right on top of your feet. Good. Keep your knees bent if you need to. Just imagine your chest moving beyond your knees. Use your imagination to go deeper. Good. Now, standing split pose. You bring your left hand to the left foot, index finger tracing along the ankle, and then raise the right leg up. If you have tight hamstrings, you can bend the knee. All right, try to get your knee as high as you can. If you're more flexible, try to get your legs straight. Eventually, the right foot comes right directly in line with the left foot. And then, if you have good balance, you can try to bring your right hand to the standing foot as well, the left foot. The index finger goes to the inside of the ankle. Press the index fingers against the ankle to find steadiness. Gaze a little bit beyond the toes. That's it. Again, bend your knee as you need to. Now, if you want to get fancy, you can place your hands down either side of the foot and see if you can float your left foot up off the ground. Come into sort of like a floating handstand. So just try to lift your left foot right up off the ground. That's it, Pedro. Beautiful. Good. Nice. All right. And come back down. Nice, Andrew. All right. Now the other foot. Plant your right foot onto the right standing foot on the ankle. Lift the left leg up. Keep your knee bent if you need to, if you have tight hamstrings. And if you eventually find a balance, try to take your left hand to the ankle as well. Visualize a straight line from top foot down to the bottom foot. Those of you who want to try again, plant your hands on either side of the foot. Lift the right heel up off the ground, push into your toes, push into your hands, and see if you can float up. And back down. Bring the left leg down. From here, inhale, extend head forward. Exhale, flop like a rag doll. Breathe in. Exhale. Throw all the fatigue out of the body. And then just lower your seat down to the ground. Extend your legs out in front. Come into seat position. Pick up the right leg. If you can, take hold of the big toe with your 2-piece fingers and ease your way down. You can slide your left foot in as you come down on your back. And then from here, you try to pull your foot towards the head. You can hold your ankle as well. So you try to eventually straighten out the right leg. Bring your attention to those areas in the leg and the muscles where you want to find release. That's where the vital force will go. Eventually you try to straighten out the left leg as well if you slid it in. So both the left leg is flat on the ground. That's it. Good, Fran. If you're very flexible, you try to bring your foot right down to the ground beside your head. Now, we're moving eventually towards trying to get your foot behind the head. Come into half happy baby pose. Bend the knee. Allow the knee to slip to the outside of the body. So imagine I'm lying on my back. You just bring your foot, your knee down just underneath your arm. Sort of looks like an upside down lizard. And if you want, you can take your leg out to the side. If you're more flexible, try to bring your right shoulder in front of the knee. Push against the back of the knee. Try to bring it higher than the shoulder. Some of you who are flexible can bring your head forward, lift your shoulders up off the mat, and try to slip your foot behind your head. Of course, if you're very flexible, you can come to the full sleeping yogi pose. Pull both feet behind your head. Awesome, Miro. Good. And Pedro too. Bob, nice work. If I don't say anything, it's because I can't see you because you're sort of like on the ground and out of my view. So that's it. Good. That's it. They'll push in the back of the knee, Brody, and then try to get your knee higher, and then that's it. All right. Now, awesome, Kayla. Good. All right, change sides. So bring that right leg down, rest for a moment, breathe in, breathe out, soften everything. And then try now on the other side. Raise the left leg up, take hold of the big toe first, and pull the foot towards the head. Alternatively, you can take the ankle. And then start to work towards getting your knee on the ground beside your body for your half happy baby pose. And from here, depending on your flexibility, you can either just take your foot out to the side, or you take your left shoulder in front of the knee and push up into the back of the knee. Try to get your knee as high as you can so that it's not obstructed. So then you can straighten out a little bit more and go a little bit further. You want to try to bring your leg behind your back. Okay, and then if you're flexible, you can try to get your foot behind your head. Slide your right foot in towards your seat if you need to. Sometimes helps. That's it, Violetta. Good. Push up into the back of the knee. That's it, Kiara. Nice. Kayla, awesome. Pedro, excellent. And Fran, too. Beautiful, Miro. Good. And release slowly, mindfully. Come back out. Legs extended on the ground. Breathe in. Breathe out. All fatigue. So let's just come into a bridge pose just to prepare the body for the next family of poses, which is back bends. And then with your seat close to your feet close to your seat, your feet about the width of the hips, lift your hips up, bridge pose. Pull your shoulders underneath. Tilt the hips forward and raise the chest up so it looks like a wall right up against the chin. Lower down. And then rock right up to seated. Make your way onto your belly. Now we're going to come into Cobra pose. So we'll come into Sphinx first. Take it slow. You can hold on to the front edge of the mat and then pull on the mat. And then just try to pull your chest forward away from the seat to get length in the lower back. Eventually you lift your elbows up. You curve your spine a little bit more so it looks like a C. And then eventually you maybe release your mat. Walk your hands towards your body. Closer. And come up. Feel as though you're in the body of a snake. Go take your shoulders back. Rise up. Now if you want to try King Cobra, come onto your fingertips. Keep your fingers close to your hips. So walk them close to your hips. Think about getting lots of height. And then open up your legs, bring your feet up, point your toes. Imagine you're squeezing socks behind the knees. And try to touch your toes to your head. Good, Miro. Good. Push into your fingertips really hard. That's it. Pull your toes in a little bit. Pull your inner legs. Oh, you're so close. You're very, very close. You're like inches away. Good. Visualize it. The toes coming to the head. And come down gracefully. Relax. Breathe in. Breathe out. Soften. Dhanurasana, bow pose. Bend your knees, bring your heels up towards the seat, hold on to the ankles if you can. If you're having trouble with that, you can take a strap, wrap them around your feet and pull on the strap. And then when you're ready, take a half breath in and lift your chest up. You can keep your thighs on the ground. If you feel ready, lift your thighs up, tug on your feet, get them higher. You can do the full pose, the bow pose with your arms over the head, like grabbing your feet from above, then go ahead into that. That's it. Be mindful of your shoulders. That's it, Brody. Good. Pull on the feet. Try to get your feet higher than the head. Then eventually you'll be able to see your toes. That's the idea. Good. Nice, Fran. Keep on breathing. Beautiful. Oh my God. Nice. All right. Relax. Calm down. Breathe in. Breathe out. Soften. Relax everything. Next, come back up to seated. Sit on your heels. So next pose we're going to do forearm balance. I'll give you modifications. I'll give you directions on how to get into it. If you want to try it, go ahead. If you don't want to try it, there's other things you can do. Okay, so for this one, you try to pull the elbows in. They are closer than the shoulders. Cross your thumbs, spread your fingers. You want to have your elbows a little bit closer than the shoulders. Okay, so then plant them on the ground. And then lift the seat, walk your feet as close to the knees, so your feet close to the elbows as possible. Lift one leg up, keep your foot close to your seat, and then just see if you can press up and down. Use the leg that's on the ground to propel yourself forward. Try to get your knee to connect with your belly, and then your seat will come over the hips, your elbows, so that you don't have to jump as much. Push into the forearms, press off your toes, and see if you can even come up just a little bit. Don't go fast, don't go hard. If you want to do it against the wall, you face the wall. Stand about legs length away or a little bit less, and place the front foot on the wall, and then you just see if you can pull your toes away from the wall. The wall is always in touch. Okay, so if you know what you're doing, go ahead. Other things that you can do, just, stay on one foot. You don't have to ever have to leave, the foot never has to leave the ground. Go according to your comfort level. That's it. That's the idea. That's a Kiara. Make sure you're not too close to the wall, okay? So. That's it. Bring your foot a little bit closer to your elbows first, Kiara, and then you don't have to, it'll be a little bit easier to jump up, okay? So bring your foot a little bit closer to the elbow to start. All right, maybe about another 30 seconds or so. Beautiful, Andrew. Good. Nice. That's it. Point your toes. Push one foot into the other. And get ready to come down gracefully. Always do things in a mindful way. Rest in child's pose. Breathe in. Breathe out. Now slide forward. Come onto your belly. Last back bend a little bit more, this is a little bit softer, which means not soft, but a little bit more accessible. Join your hands behind the back. In, take a half breath in, lift your chest up, and then lift your thighs up off the mat. Try to keep your knees from bending. Now, feel the whole body singing. Everything should feel active. Imagine trying to reach for your heels. Exhale, come down, breathe in. Exhale, drop all the fatigue out of the body. Let it all go. One more time. Hands behind the back. Try to keep your feet together. And lift the chest. If you lift your legs, go for it. Engage your buttocks. Keep breathing. And release. Inhale. Exhale. Soften, just melt. Hands underneath the shoulders. come up to seated position. Ardha Matsyendrasana, twists. So if you can fold your left leg in front with your heel beside your right hip, and then bring your right leg across to the other side of the knee. This is a Matsyendrasana. If you need to modify, if you can't get your right side of the seat down, you can just bring your left leg straight out in front, and then move your foot a little bit closer to the ankle. Right hand right against the back, the center of the back, left arm up, reach up, and then press your forearm against the outer right thigh. Inhale, lift through the chest, exhale, pull the knee further towards the left as you open up to the right. Look over your right shoulder. If you know how to take any binds, or if you want to take any binds, go ahead and explore them. You go to the place, always try to come to your edge of your potential. And each time you practice, you might move a little bit further. Eventually, you pass the edge and you define a new one. Good. Shoulders back. Extend the neck out of the shoulders. Stay tall and supreme. Good, good. Nice. Now, getting ready to switch sides. I like to do this transition, so you place your hands down on either side of the hips, lift your seat up, and you're just traveling. You're just keeping your feet, spinning on your feet, walk your hands around to your left, all the way around until you reach face forward again. And then you lower down and the other legs in front on top. And make your modifications as you need to. Straighten out the right leg if it's better for you. And then go into the twists. Visualize the spiral going right up through the spine, from the base of the spine right up to the base of the brain. Keep the back completely straight. Break the pose. Facing forward, the knees in front, the feet together. So, another twist here. Take the left arm up, press against the right thigh again. Try to push the knees out of the way of the abdomen so that you have more ability to spin. If you want to try to take a bind, you have to tip your knees down a little bit, anchor your legs in place with the back of the left shoulder, and snake your left arm underneath. And then you would join your hands eventually beside the left side of the seat. A strap might come in handy for this one. Ensure you can still breathe if you take the bind. That's the idea. Beautiful, Andrew. Good. Stay actively pushing up through the lower back and keeping your shoulders back. That's it. Break the pose and go to the other side. Stay upright. Good. That's it. Drop your shoulder. There you go. You got it. Now ease your way down to the mat for Yoga Nidra. Prepare your body. Make sure you have enough warm layers to keep yourself comfortable. And then lie in a position that will allow you to. Now, make your way down onto the ground. Lower yourself gently. Prepare for Shavasana. We're doing your Yoga Nidra now. So ensure you have enough warm layers to keep yourself comfortable. And bring yourself into a position that allows you to remain absolutely still. Pretend you're a computer that you're trying to make to go to sleep mode. So if you touch the mouse, everything fires back up. The computer becomes active again. So if you don't touch the mouse, the computer eventually goes to sleep. In the same way, we try to keep our body completely still so as to allow ourselves to lose body consciousness completely. Now, let's begin. Prepare mentally by saying to yourself the following sentence 3 times. I will remain awake and alert during the instructions. Yoga Nidra now begins. This is a profoundly healing technique. We start by systematically relaxing the body on the left side. Bring your attention to the left hand. Suggest to it to relax completely. And feel the fingers droop in response. The back of the hand relaxes. The palm of the hand softens. Remove all tension from the hand. The wrist becomes loose and limp. Now bring the attention to the left arm, starting at the wrist. Start to relax all the muscles, the whole length of the arm right up to the shoulder. Feel the muscles become like jello, completely listless and useless, just hanging off the bones. The whole arm becomes heavy as a result. At the top of the arm, the shoulder is loose and relaxed as well. Absolutely no tightness or tension there. Then starting at the top of the back, just feel the whole left side of the back relax. Imagine a big weight resting right on top of the body, and just pushing all the weight down into the front of the body, so the whole back side of the body on the left side sinks heavily. Feel the front of the body just cave in. This heaviness spreads all throughout the shoulder blade area, down the back, into the lower back and the side body. Feel all the curves in the lower back just sink and melt into the earth that supports it from below. Now feel the heaviness just make its way into the hip joint, the whole pelvic structure on the left side becoming heavy like iron. And the heaviness starts to sink into the seat, and the seat just descends further down, sags further down, dropping into the earth. Now bring the attention to the leg, at the top of the leg. Relax all the muscles. Imagine that they were injected with lead. They became heavy. And it courses, as heaviness courses its way down the leg, goes down the thigh, past the knee joint and into the lower leg. Bring with the sense of such heaviness that there's no possibility of moving the leg. At the end of it is immobilized, anchored down. Taking the attention now to the left foot, just as commanded with the left hand. The left foot relaxes. The bottom of the foot and the heel becomes soft. The top of the foot relaxes. No tension there. And the toes just droop and go limp. The foot becomes heavy and just falls out to the left, dead-like. All the way down the left side now. The whole left side immobilized, still. And now we continue with the right side. In the same way, we start once again at the hand. The right hand now, suggest to it to relax. Release all the tension and allow the fingers to just relax. And the back of the hand just rests like dead weight. The palm of the hand, soft. The wrist completely listless, lifeless. Then starting at the wrist, start to bring your attention to the muscles along the right arm. Relax them all. Feel them fall heavily, just hanging off the bones. The whole arm feels now like dead weight, just lying on the ground. And the shoulder, the top of the arm, is completely relaxed and heavy as well. Starting at the top of the back on the right side, relax. Feel the whole, relax the body, the whole torso. The right side of the back just sinks and sags from its own weight. Feeling that heaviness enter into all areas, course its way through the shoulder blade region, all the way down the side body, and into the lower back. Imagine like paint dripping down a wall, coating a wall, and with it brings heaviness with it, all along the back side of the right side of the back, right into the hip joint. The pelvis is heavy like iron, and all the weight, much of the weight resting in its seat just causes it to pull the body down even deeper, make it sag like a bag of wet sand, so heavy, like an anchor for the body. Now the right leg starts to feel heavy as well. So All the muscles felt like they were made of lead. Become so heavy. And that sensation moves all along the leg, down the thigh, past the knee into the lower leg. And that whole leg becomes unmovable. Just sitting heavily on the ground and just sinking as though we're sitting on a bed of sand, just sinking deeper and deeper down. Now turn your attention to the right foot. Relax the heel, the palm of the foot, release all the tension so that they feel soft. The top of the foot, no tension, no tightness. The toes all go limp. The whole foot just falls out to the right, completely dead-like. Now, with the arms and legs completely still, unmovable, like those of a corpse, we now work on the inside of the body. All the systems that drive the body, the organs in the torso. Suggest to them to stop working so hard, to come into a still state. Lungs left and right side, heavy as can be, as though they were filled with cement. The heart becomes heavy as well, so much so that it can barely pump the blood through the body to keep it alive. And the diaphragm, the stomach, the intestines, kidneys, liver, pancreas, and the rest, the organs, come into that state of stillness and in operation as well. So they too become quiet. The body becomes even more dead-like. Now, with the inner workings of the bodies coming to that quiet state, bring the attention to the head. The back of the head resting on a mat, heavily, so heavy that it makes an imprint in the ground. The scalp is relaxed. The features of the face reflecting complete calmness, quietness, no tension, no frown, lines in the forehead. The eyes are softly gazing into the back of the eyelids. No straining. And the skin around the nose and the mouth just relaxed and soft. Lips formed in this bit of a smile. Tongue resting in its bed, the teeth in a comfortable set. No clenching, no grinding. So the jaw is completely relaxed. The neck and the throat comfortable. And then as we move our attention to the brain inside of the head, all is quiet, for it no longer has to concern itself with the workings of the body. The body is still, So still it is, in fact, like a corpse. And like a corpse, it is heavy, still and cold. And it just, so much so that it just sinks, just continues to sink down into the ground, just as though it were burying itself. So eventually we watch the body just disappear as it is swallowed up by the earth, sinks out of view. And then it sinks out of our consciousness, even in our awareness. It's no longer there. It becomes part of the ground. And all is well because we are not the body. We are not even the mind. And we are not the emotions. We are just the seer of all this, the observer. So just like the observer now, imagine the following scene: a great storm, the rain pouring down, and not only pouring down straight, but to the side, going on a slant because of the great wind that's blowing it. It's coming down in sheets. You can't even see a meter in front of you. And as the rain hits the ground, it makes little explosions everywhere, little rebounds of water just flying back up. It's just a torrential rain and torrential explosion of all these little bursts hitting the ground. And the thunder, loud, as you can imagine, the lightning, fierce, jagged light everywhere, light beams everywhere, and the sky dark. And then all of a sudden, though, the rain subsides, the storm ends, and all is quiet once again. And though it were a terrible storm, out of it comes a new life. For all the energy produced by the lightning, it's like fertilizer for the earth. All the rain soaks into the ground and makes the ground rich. And all the seeds that lie within the ground, within the earth, become fertile and they start to grow. Grass, trees, flowers, everything you can imagine sprouting from the ground, providing sustenance for its beings. Providing beauty everywhere with all those flowers, providing shade from the trees. So many benefits arising from that storm. So much new life, so much transformation. And in a similar way, our practice transforms us, our experiences, and the knowledge that we gain from them, and the lessons that we learn transform us as well. Bring us ever closer to our goal of self-realization. For it's through that knowledge that we are able to dismiss all that ignorance, or abandon all the ignorance that causes pain and suffering. So be receptive to all the experiences. whether they be pleasant or difficult. They all serve a purpose. Now repeat to yourself the following statement 3 times to further ingrain that in your mind and your heart. I will remain receptive to all experiences. For it is those experiences that help us to grow and to purify ourselves and to become more spiritually correct little by little. Now start to prepare to come back from Shavasana in a way that is mindful, gentle. We'll bring your awareness back to the body, which once again emerges back into your consciousness, into your sight, into your awareness. Feel as though you are dropping back into the body. Reconnect with it. Become aware of the breath, fingers, the toes, the inner workings, the inner systems of the body that drive the body, that animate it. And with the utmost gentleness and reverence and mindfulness, prepare to come out of Shavasana and back into a seated position. Move quietly so as not to disrupt any of the serenity that we created through the practice. Now sitting up tall and supremely still. Close this segment of the practice. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Instill the peace within. Send peace out to all beings everywhere. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Be receptive to the divine grace within. Namaste. Thank you so very much for joining, everybody. So we'll take a pause right now as we set up for the Kirtan, this devotional practice that we'll do next. And this is a lovely way again to just celebrate this, this idea that we're all one and that we're one with God. So well, if you have to take your leave right now, thank you very much again for joining us. And those of you who stay for the Kirtan, just give us a few moments while we set up. So we'll put ourselves on mute, and you can continue to just stay in your meditative state for a bit longer while we prepare. So, see you soon. All right, so we are ready. So let's just come into, again, a sacred, a place of offering. And just imagine being established in the heart of all beings, singing to everybody and everything. Send out your joy, rays of vibrations, and may all beings benefit from this practice. So we're going to start off with Govinda Jaya Jaya. It's a chant that honors Krishna, and Krishna is the embodiment of divine love. So we're going to now sing about Govinda, and Govinda is basically Krishna as a young man. So it's call and response verse by verse.
pandemic. Good Friday.
Second pandemic, Good Friday, yes.
Maha Sadhana. And only 3 more lockdowns to go till Christmas. Just to let you know.
All right.
In case you're counting.
Next, we're doing Maha Mrittyunjaya mantra. So this is the death conquering mantra. So it's done to bring healing about. So this is also done in unison once you know it. Well, not also, this is done in unison. So once you know it, you can join in. So it's the Om Trayambakam one. So if you know that, or you can look it up, Maha Mrittyunjaya mantra. Okay, so let's give it a try. Kami So imagine all the healing vibes going out to heal all those who are in pain, all those who are suffering, all those who are approaching death. May their journey to the next life be an easy one, an easy transition. So next, we're doing Portrait of Hanuman. And Hanuman, the chorus is Hanuman Bolo. And so you know that one. And it's basically, it talks about how Hanuman, the embodiment of courage and devotion, plays in our own lives. So if you know somebody who expresses or who embodies that, you can think of them. And you yourself can be an embodiment and a purveyor of the courage and the devotion. So the verses, they're each second and fourth line you can repeat, then calm response, and of course the chorus.
It's the devotion you show to one and to all, unfailingly,
The Maha mantra means no matter what you call God, no matter what God represents to you, just know that, just tap into that consciousness of that ever presence, that power that's always present in our lives everywhere. So Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, that one, right? The great mantra. Calm response. Hare receptive to the divine grace within. Namaste. Thank you so very much for joining me today. As Andrew, he's my other invite. So thank you so much for coming, everybody. I really appreciate your participation and keep spreading the love and joy. If you do want to make a donation, it's completely voluntary, but the money will go to a charitable foundation. It will not. I will not be keeping the money. So this is also something I do with every Good Friday one. I send out the money to a good cause. So namaste. Thank you so much again for coming.
Thank you.
And you can unmute yourself if you like. And really appreciate you all coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. It was
Thanks, Justine and Andrew.
Happy Easter.
all the best.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Justine, Andrew, everyone.
Thank you, Justine. Wonderful.
Sorry, I missed everything you just said. If anybody said anything, because my mic.
We're all just saying thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Namaste.
Namaste. Have a wonderful Easter, everybody.
Happy Easter.
So good to see everybody. We have people coming from Europe. We have people coming from Canada and US, and it's wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.
I love you so
Bye,
much.
guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Good to see you, Andrew. So thank you so much, Justine.
Thank you, Bob.
Thank
So
you.
good to
That
see
was
you.
so lovely. I'm hoping that I'll be able to see you this summer for sure. We'll do some outside yoga and kirtan.
Yes, for sure.
At least you didn't have to travel so far, Bob.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for coming to my home today.
Yes, for
It was
sure.
so nice.
Thank you so much.
Ah, you get attacked.